Tēnā koutou katoa. It is an honour and a privilege to stand here before you today, fellow graduates. I hope you will forgive me, but I thought I would start my speech today with a joke. A fish is swimming upriver and it sees a dog standing on the bank. The dog says to the fish, "How's the water?" And the fish replies, "What's water?" Upon telling a version of this joke to the 2005 graduating class at Kenyon College, David Foster Wallace posited that the value of a real education is awareness. In particular, awareness of the things so real and essential, so hidden in plain sight all around us, all the time, that we have to keep reminding ourselves of them over and over again. I chose to begin with this joke because I truly believe that the greatest benefit I've derived from my time at Te Herenga Waka is that very same awareness. It would take far too long for me to list every time that a member of the academic staff at this university opened my eyes to the nature of law, how it influences and is influenced by people, how it must be interpreted and understood in new ways in light of previously unseen circumstances. I would, however, like to offer one brief example from my first year at Te Herenga Waka by the way of one of the first contemporary court cases I can remember studying. The case was Borrowdale and the Director General of Health, in which Andrew Borrowdale challenged the legality of certain measures taken by the government in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, including putting the country into Level 3 and Level 4 lockdown. Around the time of the release of that judgment, my Laws 123 lecturer, Eddie Clark, who's here today, began several lectures by integrating the case into the subject of that day's lecture. Learning about the mechanisms available to the court to consider the legality of actions of government actors completely reframed my understandings of the role of the judiciary, lawyers, legal academics all play in the lives of ordinary people. Further, and perhaps more importantly, discussing Borrowdale showed me the role that not only counsel, but also litigants, Parliamentary Counsel Office, scientists, academics, and many others all play in upholding the rule of law. I was always struck by the reverence students at this university had for the academic staff, in no small part because of the passion instilled in us by our lecturers and their encouragement to listen, understand, and respond to the world around us. A few years have passed since I sat in those Laws 123 lectures, and since then I have been taught about so many other interesting and important cases, some of which have genuinely fundamentally altered my worldview. We are also lucky to have been taught by such intelligent, opinionated, and ardent educators, and I hope that you are all able to find the time to thank those you feel have made an impact to your university careers. While I have spoken at length about the law and the academic staff, I would be remiss if I did not also take this opportunity on behalf of the graduates to thank the unsung heroes of this university. The administrative staff, IT support, the librarians, security guards, cleaners, everyone else who helps keep this institution running. Without you, I would still be trapped in the third floor library bathroom. I would never have found the books I needed to battle through contract, and I probably wouldn't be standing here graduating today, so thank you. Similarly, I would like to thank the friends and whānau who have supported us for however long it took to reach this point. I feel incredibly proud and grateful to have had my people supporting me, not only today, but through every brutal deadline and stressful exam period, and I hope all my fellow graduates have been lucky enough to experience that too. As well as thanking those who have supported us, I think it is important to recognise the achievements of those we are here today to celebrate. I could easily speak to those long, late nights spent studying in OGB, but instead I would like to attempt to acknowledge the things that challenged you during your studies that you may not have received the recognition for that you deserve. Some of my fellow graduates are parents and caregivers who had to study while balancing substantial obligations at home. There are graduates here today who studied alongside substantial work commitments. I know that some of my fellow graduates earned their degrees while representing the country at the highest level in sport and other forms of competition. Some of you may have faced significant barriers while studying due to your mental or physical health. For those of you who have faced such challenges during your time at Te Herenga Waka, I hope you are able to recognise your resilience as a strength on par with the intelligence that you have demonstrated by getting to this point today. You may recall that I spoke earlier about the moment I came to appreciate the role that so many different people play in upholding the rule of law. I have no doubt that many of you will find yourselves involved in some capacity or another in some pretty important decisions made across this country in the future. As graduates of this university who have spent years of our lives neighbouring Parliament and the Supreme Court, we have all been primed to become some of the most socially aware, critical, resilient, and passionate change makers of our generation. I sometimes worry that by leaving this place, I will forget the immediacy of the issues that I have studied here, or I will lose the desire to embrace the uncomfortable and unfamiliar ideas like those that punctuated my university experience. To return to the fish joke from earlier, I worry that I will forget that this is water. So graduates, my call to action is this: embrace the discomfort and don't forget the things you learnt here. The rest of our lives begins now. Thank you.